Hi guys, and welcome back to another video from Hell Dominance. Anthony here once again. Please remember to like and subscribe and click that notification bell if you're happy with all the content that's been coming to you and want to see more. So in today's video we have a look at the Women's Super League South. We're having a look at that statement, and then you'll have a little bit of feedback from myself about my takes on the entire process. So let's begin. Some exciting news in the Women's Betfred Super League, as there has been a good statement of intent for expansion in the women's game. Yes, I know, people of the UK. Is Rugby League doing expansion in the UK? Teams away from the M62? No, shock, horror. Well, it's happened, and it takes the women's sport to get that push. Don't know. Anyway, let's go on to the actual statement, because it is positive strides. Women's and Girls Rugby League today celebrates another significant step forward with confirmation of the launch of the Betfred Women's Super League South. 5 new teams: Bedford Tigers, Cardiff, Cornish Rebels, Golden Firms and London Broncos will join the British Army with a 6-team competition for 2021 to run alongside the existing Betfred Women's Super League, Championship and League One competitions in the north, with fixtures due to begin on the first weekend in June. In another boost for the women's game, Betfred have extended their title sponsorship of the Women's Super League, which began in 2019, to include the new competition. It's really good to hear. I'm glad that Betfred have seen that it's a good idea to grow the sport. I wonder how much, well, that's a comment for it, Betfred to keep to themselves, but I do hope that they keep up with that sponsorship. It's a major sponsor in the UK, and they need to keep it up. With a number of other expressions of interest already received, the intention is that the Betfred Women's Super League South will sit at the top of the pyramid for the women's and girls game in the south of England and Wales, as the Betfred Women's Super League does in the north. Mark Lovering, the RFL's Director of Participation and Development, said a new Premier competition for the Women's Super League in the south of England and Wales has already been a part of our medium to long-term strategy as we look to build on the growth within the women's and girls game since we launched the Women's Super League in 2017. We had intended to launch in 2020, but were forced to delay for obvious reasons. But that's what has been the benefit of launching in a year, which will end with the England women playing in a home World Cup, and to have a title sponsor for the competition in Betfred, such generous supporters of Rugby League in general and the Women's Super League in particular, is another great boost. The introduction of Women's Super League in 2017 has been instrumental in providing an inspirational playing opportunity, raising the profile of women's game and providing girls with development opportunities. We'll be looking for the same impact through this new competition, and the teams taking part will also have a focus on girls' development, ensuring sustainable pathways start to emerge. We will also see activities taking place across the south this summer, with more new teams playing Women's Rugby League for the first time. We are confident that with a number of new teams getting involved, we will quickly be able to establish a full pyramid beneath the Betfred Super League Betfred Women's Super League South, with plans for a similar new competition in the north launching in 2022, we are aiming to have a full national competition structure in place ahead of the 2024 season. For the inaugural season of the Betfred's Women's Super League South, the 6 teams will be split into regional conferences as followed. So they're going to have a West Conference and an East Conference. 2 groups of 3. Yes, it sounded all positive to begin with, but now that I've read it a little bit further, they're not willing to go out of their regional. A West and East Conference. It needs to have stayed together. I know logistics might have been hard for such teams as the British Army, but they need to get this league up and running, because 3-3, that's terrible. To be fair, I'm reading this for the first time. I should have read it beforehand, but I'm going to leave this in. It seemed all positive with the statement, and then all of a sudden it's conferences for the Southern women. That means no games. No real games. They're playing against the 2 other sides that they know. This first season, I know it's hard for the logistics and everything like that, but they could have laid out some buses. A couple of buses. If they were really about expansion, it would have been exciting and said, all 6 of you, we're gonna put on these buses. Even if they got the community trusts involved of each of the clubs, or Cardiff Football Club, any of the London football clubs join with the community trust. London Broncos, they'll have their own vans and everything like that. Take them back and forth. I know they're trying to keep them together, but come on, could have been so much better. Could have had the Twitch up and running to show games, got interest that way. Then when fans come back, they're spending money. Then they could have their own buses to travel back and forth. This is a half measure. You're going to have a national one in 2024. It's 3 years down the line. Well, are these ladies going to play against the same teams over and over again? So just for anyone who wants to know, the West Conference will have the Golden Ferns, Cardiff and the Cornish Rebels, where the East will have London Broncos, Bedford Tigers and British Army. It seemed all positive and I was dead happy. But this is a kick in the teeth. I'm going to leave this as is, because it seemed all positive to begin with, and it seemed like plans had been going on, but then all of a sudden, bang. No, not bothered. It's a World Cup year as well. Some of these girls might not even be considered. I'd love them all to be up and running and a South League. Might run past what the other girls have played, but they would have had to play proper games. They would have played against other sides. The British Army women's side that's been going for quite a few years. When these form up, Broncos, Bedford and British Army are all going to be, tough. And they're going to leave behind the Golden Ferns, Cardiff and Cornish Rebels. Yes, it's exciting for the game that these are the first shoots. There's only 6 of them. They're not going to be involved in the Challenge Cup this year, so they're all going to catch up. They could have had 10 games in this first season. That's experience. Then in the pre-season before 2022, if it's a Southern Conference, play friendlies against the teams up in the northern ones. then they know what sort of level each teams are going to be. They could have fast-tracked this development, could have had all the Twitch up and running and everything. But no, they're going to focus on the North. It's Rugby League shooting themselves in the foot again. Yes, I know there's a pandemic going on. But that doesn't mean that it should be. And should be hindered. Starting in June, where we're supposed to be coming out of lockdown. Fans were supposed to go in the stadium. They could have had the Twitch, they could have had fans going there, they could have had merchandise stalls up and running. The clubs could have got them easily. They could have got support from the actual clubs that were with. They could have so with the Gloucester Old Golds. They were very, very vocal on Twitter. Quite a few followers as well. Cardiff, that'll be the first Welsh team. First women's Welsh team, should I say. And they could have got help from, I don't know, West Wales Raiders and North Wales Crusaders and anyone like that. Seems like half measures. Yes, I understand there's a pandemic. And it was great. I was excited because of expansion. Because teams like, I'm reading here, Golden Firms, the women's section of the Old Golds Rugby League team based in southern Gloucestershire, and Stroud College with its superb facilities. That's as good as any of the Women's Super League, North Super League's facilities. Cardiff, overseen by Wales Rugby League as a whole and based at the University of South Wales. The side will be coached by Ian Newbury, the Wales women's assistant coach, and will feature many of the players expected to feature in the England versus Wales international later this year. How are they going to get tuned up? How are they going to get up to a playing level as the England girls if they're only playing 4 games? I can't. It's half measure. I'm happy that this is going on, don't get me wrong, but it's not to the extent that it should be. They're just making it difficult themselves. They're going up 1 step, half a step. Let's do it slow. Let's not upset the apple cart. I'm gonna do coverage about this. There's no two ways about it, because it is Rugby League and it's good first step. But I'm unhappy with how it's gone. If you're gonna do a league, a Southern League, don't have it in East and West. I need to find out why it's in East and West. Yes, I know pandemics and things like that, but the teams, the northern teams, they're going from Lancashire to Yorkshire up to York. If you don't think that's a distance, it's essentially the same distance as London going to Cornwall for the Cornish Rebels, who are based at Redruth. It's not. And plus, they're going to a stadium They're going to play at the long-awaited stadium for Cornwall in 2023. That's where the home games are going to be played. So, they're my thoughts on the Women's Super League. I was very, very happy to do this video, but I'm very disappointed in how it all came to pass at the end. Let's see from a couple of the clubs. So first of all, Jason Laubser of London Broncos. London Broncos are extremely excited to be a part of the new competition. We feel that Women's Rugby League will have a strong presence in London, and it will be an easy decision when we're invited to apply for a place in the competition. When we were. Our plan has always been to form strong community links in the local area, and form a women's team was another step to strengthening those links, in addition to our academy programme and our award-winning schools and community programme on the award-winning schools and the community delivery. So every single club has had, 4 of the clubs have had statements, and they're very, very happy to join in to the actual formation of this Super League South, Women's Super League South. And I do hope that the two conferences merge together, because then it will be a competition, not just a half measure. That's what needs to happen, because the game will go stagnate for the women if they're playing the same teams, all of them. It should have been done this year, all 6. The World Cup, they've even mentioned it in their own statement. World Cup's coming this year. The Women's World Cup as well is playing alongside it. Yes, I want England to win as a women's rugby league team, and also the men's, obviously. But I want them to play the best competition. And these ladies don't seem to be getting the opportunity to be at their best. And how do they get to be the best? Playing more games. Match fit. You can't be match fit after 4 games, especially if they've played an entire season. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. So that's my 2 penneth on the Women's Super League. I do appreciate everything that you've said in the previous comments, and I'm happy to take on any feedback that you guys have put through. Remember, the race to 100 is still ongoing. I'm going to announce the 10 recipients of the t-shirts once we get to 100 subscribers. So share these videos, and please be safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.